Okay, I'm going to carry on where I was in the prior file. I'm limited to 15 minutes, so kind of the prior one kind of stopped abruptly. But this is where I was. It says, where do you want to restore the file? And as I was explaining, this is going to make it into a workable file. Chapter 1 explains all the differences between backup files and workable files, but this is the main company file where every time you post anything or do a transaction, this is where it is automatically saved. When I hit next, it is asking me where I want to save this file. You see it says save company file. It's easy to get confused because you were just opening a file and what you opened was a backup file. So realize that now what you're getting ready to do is put the file name that you want to create as far as the workable file. So you open a backup file, it's going to restore it, and it's going to save it into a workable file name. I'm going to go back to my desktop, my QB data files folder. And I'm not sure if it'll have redo for you down there or not. I am going to put my name here. And this is going to be, excuse me there, that flashed over to another screen. But this is where I'm going to hit save. And it's going to take it a couple minutes. And it might even say that not responding, but don't worry, it's just taking time because it's taking that backup file and it's expanding it into a much bigger file size. So sometimes this takes a couple of minutes. You will typically see the screen that wants to know if you want to update your company file. And go ahead and just click yes. And I don't believe that screenshot actually doesn't show up in your textbook. But you should be right around page 1.14 at this point. I do OK. And now I'm in QuickBooks. Your data has been restored successfully. I click OK. Now I'm ready to go ahead and get started. And you can just follow along. I'm not going to do everything in here, but you do want to browse around and do make sure that you navigate through everything. The first thing that it actually tells me to do is to go along and update my company name. So I'm going to exit out of there and up here in the menu bar. And you'll find that a lot of these are just different things or different shortcuts to get to the same place. Like you have the menu bar up here. These same options are also what some of these are down here. This is a nice little flowchart navigation, so it's a really great to just go directly to where you want to go, but the book will explain all of that. I want to come up here to company information. Right here, it is telling me that I want to replace your name with my name. I'm going to make sure it doesn't tell me to do anything else. And it just says OK. And then next, it tells me to go to the chart of accounts. And at this point, it's saying, go right here. You could have navigated to the window and gotten there as well, but it's saying, well, here you go. Just click on that and you will get your chart of accounts. It says to select checking, which is already selected. Then it says to right click and to go down to edit account. and where it says checking, to put your name. So you can put it right here. And then I do save and close. Then you start navigating through the pages. What I want to show you next, assuming that you've done everything here and you're going to get to the point where you actually have to export, which is part of your homework, into the Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to skip over to page 1.28, and on there I've already run a trial balance and I'm getting ready to export it. And that's what it talks about on this page. I'm going to do that for you, but I want to show you what the Excel file looks like first. Right there in the middle of the page on page 28, it says that you're going to do the Go Paperless Reports Excel template, which is what we're going to do for everything. Now, this is the same Excel file that I've already saved for you and put on Blackboard, but let's just say I had not done that. Then what I could do is I could go into Explore, whatever browser you use. This is where I was before, and type www.myQuickBooks.me. And when you do that, it flashes up and it automatically comes into the 2012 edition. Here it's telling you to go to that link of 2012, which you're already there. So what you would do, again, I have already done this for you. I'm just showing you this. But you click on the reports, and then you could open it up. And, well, actually what you would want to do is you'd want to save it. And hopefully you've already done that. I have already pulled it up, so I'm going to pull it up, and I want to go over it with you real quick. If you go on the first tab, it tells you again exactly how to export into Excel, so you could scroll down and read that. Then the next is the reports. Here, when you get finished and you actually populate these tabs that are down here, you want to make sure that you come along here and put an X. What that X says is, okay, I finished this. If you do not put an X there, when the auto grader gets ready to grade, it looks to see if there's an X there. If there's not one there, it'll act like or think that you didn't do anything. So be sure that you click the X and put it there. Now, these tabs down here, they go directly with the numbers of the exercise within your book. You can see that it has exercise 1.1-2 PL, 1.1-3 BS. This is where you're actually going to put the data from these particular exercises. After the EXs, you see the PRs. This is your projects. So the first part of the exercise is this, and then later on when you get into the projects, you're actually going to have a separate company file, a separate data file, but that's okay because you're going to, Excel doesn't really know what data file you're in, but you're going to put those in this part over here. Now, notice that this first one, CH1TB, the reason for that is that in Chapter 1, it actually directs you to do something and export it into Excel before you get to the end of the chapter, before you get to the exercises. Okay, so now this is what I want to do is I want to close this Excel spreadsheet out. You need to have it closed before you export. I didn't really make any changes. I was just navigating, so I thought I did. I'm going to click Don't Save. All right, so let's pretend that I've gone along and I've done all the pages, and now I'm on page 127. I'm going to do the first part of the export so you can see. Now, it says to click the reports on the icon bar, which is actually this one right here. You saw I was automatically coming up here, which I could have done that as well, but let me do exactly what the book tells me to do. And it's showing me all these reports. And it's showing you that if I were to click over here, you would see that it's showing you different types of reports that are relevant to what you're clicking over in this section here. In my textbook, and again I'm on page 28, it says to click on accountants and taxes. And it tells me to make sure that I'm in carousel view. If you notice over here where I've got my cursor, you see how that says if that's carousel view or list view or grid view. So I clicked on it, there's carousel view. And I'm going to select notice that this first one that came up said adjusted trial balance. So again, be very careful in reading. It says to select trial balance, not adjusted, but trial balance, and there is a difference. Here's the trial balance. And I'm supposed to select a date range. And it's already got the date range it wants me to select. So that's good. Now I just click run. And there it is. Now next, it's doing what I've already done, which is telling you to download the template. So you need to know exactly where you saved your Excel sheet. And now I'm going to click on Excel. And you are going to update an existing worksheet because you already have one saved. And it wants to know where it is. So I'm going to browse. And I actually did not save that file. So let me pull it up again. Do be sure to put your name here, because that's how it's much easier if I see a bunch of your names. I'm not going to know whose it is, and we just, be consistent and put your name there. So now I've got it saved. Again, I need to make sure that I exit out. Now when I do this, I should see it, and there it is. And you will just click open. It's not actually opening it, but notice that it says select sheet. And again, you can follow right through on your book, and it does tell me to click CH1TB, which is what I did. Then the next thing, it says to click the Advanced button and unclick the included QuickBooks Export Guide worksheet with helpful advice. We'll do OK. And now I'm going to click Export. This will come up, and because again, you saved a file, you have a file name out there, it doesn't know whether you put anything in there or not. It just wants to make sure that you know that if something were there, you're going to overwrite it. I'm going to click yes. And the book is cautioning you that if it selected a new tab, that you need to delete it, because you really did something wrong and it's not going to be able to grade it. So here it exported, and now my file opened up, and here it is.